Okay, let's dive straight into this. We're looking at an announcement from May 27th, 2025. It details a pretty significant new initiative from EON Reality.
That's right. The core of it is something they're calling EON WealthWeaver. And interestingly, it's specifically launched with a focus on Africa.
Right. So for this deep dive, our mission really is to unpack what EON WealthWeaver actually is. Understand the big problems it seems to be aiming at, and see exactly how it proposes to use AI and XR technology to empower people.
Yeah, individuals and communities across the continent, it presents a really distinct vision, I think, for digital entrepreneurship.
How so?
Well, it's about how technology can be used for sort of grassroots problem solving,
Yeah.
especially in a region facing, well, unique challenges, but also holding just immense potential, often underestimated potential.
Okay, so at its heart, what is EON WealthWeaver? The source material calls it an incubator platform.
Yes, think of it as a system designed to, well, nurture and bring digital creations to life. And the key creation here, the main output, is something the announcement calls AI-powered agent IPs.
Agent IPs,
Yeah.
right? And how do they define those?
They're described as intelligent digital agents, each one specifically designed to address a particular, real-world challenge.
So like a digital helper.
Yeah.
Or a solution tailored to one specific need.
Exactly. And what's really emphasized, and this seems key, is that anyone can create, own, and then monetize these agent IPs.
Anyone.
Yeah, regardless of their technical background, that's the pitch.
Wow. Okay, that's a critical point. Then no need for like a coding background.
Correct. The platform apparently uses a code-free, user-friendly solution. It integrates advanced XR, extended reality, and AI tools to make that possible.
So the goal isn't just about creating a digital tool itself. It sounds like it's more about turning the creator into a digital entrepreneur.
That seems to be the intended outcome, yeah. By building these agent IPs, creators can potentially earn recurring income.
Like from the agents.
Yeah, through things like royalties or licensing fees. And at the same time, they're making a tangible social or economic impact by, addressing those real-world problems.
Okay, this is where the why this matters part comes in. The announcement lists several pretty significant benefits, especially when you think about the African context. What really stands out to you?
Well, one of the first things that really jumps out is how this aims to democratize digital entrepreneurship.
Democratize, meaning it's trying to open up the digital economy beyond just the usual tech hubs, like reaching individuals in maybe under-resourced or rural communities.
Precisely. By removing or at least lowering those technical barriers to creation and ownership, it potentially allows a much, much wider population to participate and actually build digital assets.
Okay.
And that ties right into the idea that it enables users to solve local challenges.
Because the people who understand the problems best are the ones being empowered to build the solutions. Is that the idea?
That's exactly it. They can create agents that directly target critical regional needs they see every day. Could be agriculture, could be healthcare access, employment, water management, whatever the pressing local issue is.
Right.
This also links directly to passive income generation.
Which is a big deal. Moving beyond just traditional wage jobs, creating income streams from, well, digital assets, that sounds like a pretty significant shift.
It is, potentially. The source really highlights the potential for sustainable income through royalties or licensing. And alongside that, the process itself is meant to foster skill development.
How so?
Just by using the platform, people hopefully gain practical skills in AI and XR and in managing a digital project basically from idea to market.
Which then, I suppose, feeds into broader community empowerment.
Absolutely. It could foster local innovation, encourage collaboration, build capacity within communities, kind of from the ground up.
And the key to making all this potentially work is the emphasis on accessible tools.
Right, the no-code, low-code interface we mentioned, and also the ability to access it on any device. That includes just a smartphone.
Which is pretty widespread.
Yes. Though, it does raise an interesting practical question. While smartphone use is definitely growing, consistently reliable internet access, and maybe the cost of data in some rural areas, that could still be a hurdle, right, for widespread daily use.
Did the announcement mention anything about that, how they plan to support that side of things?
Key source mentions partnerships and ongoing local support. It suggests they're aware of, let's say, regional infrastructure nuances, but it doesn't detail specific connectivity solutions.
Okay.
It seems the focus right now is more on the software's accessibility across different types of devices, maybe betting on infrastructure improving over time, or perhaps leveraging existing access points like community centers or libraries.
That makes sense. It's a platform built on the assumption that access, even if it's not perfect at first, is good enough to start creating value. Okay, let's look at how this might translate into actual creations. The source includes an Agent IP project gallery for Africa, which gives some really compelling examples.
Yeah, they really help bring the concept to life, show the potential range. Take, for instance, a climate-resilient agriculture agent.
So what would that be? An AI agent providing super localized advice for smallholder farmers, helping them deal with unpredictable weather, maybe choose better crops, or optimize planting times based on hyperlocal data.
Exactly that. A direct response to a major food security issue, but tailored right down to specific microclimates. Or think about a rural healthcare navigation agent.
Okay, I can see that. Providing reliable health info, maybe helping locate nearby clinics, offering referral services, maybe even facilitating telemedicine consultations, and crucially, perhaps in multiple local languages.
Precisely. Directly addressing those huge challenges of distance and limited infrastructure in accessing healthcare.
Yeah, that's huge.
Then in the financial world, they mention a micro-lending and credit scoring agent.
Interesting. So trying to improve financial inclusion, maybe using alternative data, not just traditional banking history, to assess creditworthiness for individuals or small businesses.
Exactly. Tackling that financial exclusion so many people face.
That's smart. What about employment and skills?
There is an example of a skill matching and vocational training agent. This could, connect young people with relevant training programs and job opportunities.
Okay.
And potentially even use those XR capabilities for more immersive, maybe hands-on learning simulations, like virtual welding practice or something like that.
Right, okay. And the informal market efficiency agent, that sounds really interesting, given the huge, vibrant, informal economies across the continent.
Yeah, it could potentially improve logistics for traders, maybe facilitate more trusted transactions, help connect buyers and sellers more efficiently within those often complex networks. And finally, they highlight a sustainable waste management and recycling agent.
Okay, so maybe streamlining collection routes, connecting waste pickers to recycling centers, perhaps educating communities on sorting, taking a common urban challenge and applying a digital layer.
Exactly. And what's key across all these examples, as the source really emphasizes, is that each one is designed to generate passive income streams for the individual or group that created it.
Right. So it's not just solving a problem.
It's creating an economic asset out of that solution. That's the model.
So it's not just a set of tools they're offering. There's a whole structure supporting these creators.
Precisely. The WealthWeaver ecosystem, as they describe it, includes the user-friendly toolset, things like the EON Entrepreneur Guide, the XR integration for those immersive experiences across devices, dedicated education and support to guide users from idea to market.
Right.
A marketplace and monetization system for deploying and actually earning from the Asian IPs, and crucially, a Pan-African community network for, peer-to-peer collaboration and growth.
The chairman of EON Reality, Dan Lidgerskar, has a pretty bold quote in the announcement about the vision here.
He does. He's quoted saying, EON Reality believes that true empowerment begins when individuals and communities have the tools to create their own solutions. He goes on, Africa's ingenuity, coupled with our WealthWeaver platform, is a force for exponential prosperity. By enabling agent IP creation tailored to local needs, we're not just bridging technology gaps, we're unlocking a new era where every innovator on the continent can own, deploy, and profit from assets that uplift society.
Wow. That really does capture the ambition, doesn't it?
Right.
Shifting the power and the ownership of potentially valuable digital assets to the individual creator and tying it directly to solving problems in their own communities.
Yeah. And the context they provide about EON Reality's history adds a bit of weight. They've been in this AI-powered AR/VR knowledge transfer space for over 25 years.
Right.
So this initiative seems to build on that long-standing expertise in making complex tech accessible for learning and application. It sounds a bit similar in spirit to their other 2025 initiative mentioned, the Spatial AI University.
Okay, so summing this up then. Looking at this announcement, what EON WealthWeaver is really launching in Africa is essentially a platform designed to enable individuals regardless of technical skill, to create these AI-powered digital agents that solve local problems. And in doing so, effectively turn local insight and problem-solving ability into a source of digital wealth.
Yeah, it's a really clear move towards trying to democratize digital entrepreneurship, rooting the benefits of AI and XR, not just in big corporations, but right down at the grassroots level, enabling passive income through locally owned digital assets.
And that really leaves you, the listener, with a thought to consider.
Yeah.
What could it actually mean for economic development, particularly in diverse and often underserved regions? When individuals, not just large companies or governments, have the power to create, to own, and to generate income from valuable digital assets that directly address the most pressing issues right there in their own backyards, how might that fundamentally reshape the flow of innovation and maybe even wealth creation from the ground up?